have to say, I'm always surprised that you guys can stay quiet for that long.
You're funny. You're a crack up. You know that?
That's just mean and uncalled for.
You know how many times I've seen you guys almost break?
Rude. I know. The second you tell us to stop talking, we have something to say. But as soon as we start recording, I'm just drawing a blank.
Unnecessarily funny.
I don't know what to talk about.
Something we can actually do now is introduce ourselves.
No.
As the actual podcast name.
Oh. No.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Who wants to say it? Who wants to say the podcast name? Now that we're 3 episodes in and the name's already been out there.
I think Tangi should say it.
Why should I?
Because it was mostly, I feel like you came up with this one.
Well,
yeah.
Welcome back, guys. We are Clocked Out Creatures here for another podcast.
Ugh.
Lame.
Cracked out.
That was awful. Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. Podcast.
Okay, so Dustin is now trying to stay silent for a long period of time because I made that comment earlier.
Yeah, let's introduce ourselves real quick.
Yeah. This is really nice.
I'm Nolan.
I'm Mia.
I'm Amber.
I'm Tangi.
And that's Dustin, who is still being quiet.
Yeah.
I am now going to talk because now it's been a minute and a half. So
Wow.
Wow.
It's the longest it's ever been without him talking, I think.
As if
as
I was
I'm
gonna say,
working.
as if he doesn't like go into a zone when he's working
Or napping.
Doesn't talk.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you get your half hour to hour long reprieve at lunch.
There's times where we don't see you for like hours, and then you'll like emerge and kind
Somebody
of
will
squint
just
your eyes
randomly
at
be
the
like,
sun.
"Where's Dustin?"
Yeah.
Come out of some kind of dark hole.
Or you're like, "Where's Dustin?" And I'm right there behind you.
Slither out of the vent.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, he does that a lot too. It's just
Hate
like
that.
stand behind you.
We should get him a bell.
A bell,
See,
yes.
my little sister used to have a little bracelet that had bells on it so we could track where she was going.
That'd be funny.
I think I need to get you one.
One of those things.
Okay, but you guys always like get scared by Dustin. He's scared me maybe once, and
You're constantly next to him.
Oh, you're
Maybe
like,
when I'm
getting
not.
scared.
I got Kelly earlier today, and I wasn't even trying to. I just like looking at what she was doing because she's drawing, and then she was I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Scaring me." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
We should get him one of those.
I didn't even try.
One of those like proximity alarms from Alien, you know?
Yeah.
Like the little meters, so you don't know exactly where he is. You can't hear him, but you just see the little dot, and it's like, it's like, oh my god! Yeah.
A shot caller.
He's right on top of you.
Anytime he comes within like a foot, the little collar will go off.
yeah.
Stay.
I think that's something that you guys need for him.
And then Roxy comes into the room with a collar attached. You're like, "Oh God, where is he?"
Oh my god! Yeah, it's like on someone else. Like walk into the room like unsure
Somehow
of
he
like
stuck
how it
into
got
my
on
ceiling.
me. Like, what happened?
He took like 6 of the baby heads and tossed them all up there and tossed
Yeah,
the...
Is the baby head?
It's still on my ceiling.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Still up there.
Amber was like, ew.
So,
put it
for
in here.
context, there is a, like, maybe, like, palm-sized baby head that we have gotten for the office and everything like that. And Dustin consistently likes to throw it on the roof because that's the
Or on
only
the
place it'll...
ceiling,
Yeah,
yeah.
on the ceiling, I guess. Whatever. But that's the only place that it'll actually stick. And it was in there for, like, what, 2 months on the ceiling?
Yeah, I threw it up there right before we recorded in like early November, and it like finally got knocked down, which I was upset about.
Mind you, I got this squishy head. It's like, it's supposed to be a stress reliever, and it's brought nothing but chaos
It's like
to
sticky.
the office. It is sticky.
When it's clean, because it does pick up a lot of dirt when it hits the ground, it kind of reminds me of like those hand like toys that like when you like swing them around, when you slap them on something, it like sticks.
Imagine that, but shaped like a baby's skull.
With a really weird face, like
I
the
think
Easter
it's
Island
supposed to
heads.
actually be more of a Buddhist head than it is a baby, but
Yeah.
it's very squishy and very funny to look
I don't know
at.
why my first initial instinct is when I see that or hear about it is like that one statue is like the screaming baby that's like.
Statue?
There's
Are you
like.
talking about like the lady mannequin head?
I don't know, but I used
or,
I
like,
I
it
know
was
it's
a baby
being
head
used
on a
in like
mannequin.
memes because it's like.
Oh, yeah.
I think I know what you're talking
I
about.
know exactly what he's
Baby head
talking about, yeah.
statue.
There's so many memes.
Or it's like a cupid, or like a cupid thing,
I think I know what you're talking about.
cherub or whatever.
I could
those
be
are
wrong.
supposed to
I
be.
think,
We'll
I think
find
it was
it
supposed to be a
later.
cherub.
Yeah.
Now my neck hurts from doing that.
No, but honestly, it reminds me of like the Easter Island heads.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are
Like
A
cool.
little bit
the
rounder,
face.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
those
Or like the
things?
heads from Spirited Away.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the little head guys. Okay, did you guys know that the Easter Island heads have like entire bodies below the ground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like
Weird.
really
Don't-
squished bodies for what the head is, isn't it?
Most of them are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are like pretty tall. Yeah.
I
No.
hate hearing about
So
it.
they're actually.
Have you seen like the videos of them making them walk?
No.
Like the way they
No.
make them walk. It's like a really cool.
What are you talking about?
It like it explains how they got them there, and it also kind of delves into how like the
very
Egyptians made the pyramids and all that. But yeah, but like they like have ropes and just kind of like
Yeah, you just kind of back and
waddle.
forth and like
It's
waddle.
really cool. It's very
Wow.
unsettling.
Can you imagine?
Ancient
That, but without
marionettes.
Imagine being there in like the BC times and you're like far away and you just see this big guy like walking. I would scream. I would go extinct right
no,
then.
they'd probably like go and offer him something. Like they'd be like, "Oh God."
Ah, you are God. You're the tallest.
They're actually plant people.
They're plant people.
Yeah, they're planted beneath the ground. Their bodies are just below the ground. Just
They're hibernating. They're waiting to erupt.
They're just sculptures of the giants.
They're like cicadas. They like burrow and then
They're gonna
like
come out and
hatch.
they're gonna. I'm gonna cry.
If they were like,
That makes me want to cry.
what would you do if they like hatched one day and they were like they were like just giant tall men with like bricks for
they're
heads?
just gonna have jelly beans in them.
It's
That's why they call it Easter Island, actually.
That would be cool
It's
actually.
gonna just like crack open and a bunch of jelly beans are gonna pop
at
out.
least they're stuck on an island.
That would actually, yeah.
true.
That would actually break people's
News
minds. That would,
report. March 2021. The Easter Island heads are on the run.
I think that would.
I repeat, hide.
That would like actually prove that we're in a simulation if those things opened and they were full of jelly beans.
We are in a simulation.
There's no explanation for that. For why these like 10,000-year-old things are full of jelly bellies. Like we would give up.
It's been a Jelly Belly like marketing ploy this entire time.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're full of jelly bellies.
They invented the first like time machine and then went back in time. They were like, this is gonna get people. I just know it.
They're like big cakes. Like someone's gonna cut into it.
Oh god,
Just a big cake. It's like
no.
Everything's
There's
cake.
a topic we could talk about: time travel.
Oh yeah.
Have I told you guys my theory about aliens?
No, I want to hear about it.
Okay. Okay. My theory is like, you know how you see like all the old like super old paintings and like there's like spaceships, or like if you go back and like look at Egyptian carvings and stuff like that, you see alien or astronauts or like spaceships and stuff like that all throughout different kind of ancient cultures, specifically like Mayan, Aztec, Egyptian, that kind of general structural thing. But like my theory is that those spaceships are just like time machines. So like that's what people are. Because I imagine if it's like an alien being on a different planet with a different atmosphere is a lot harder to like work with than coming from a different point in time in the same planet, if that makes sense. So like they're just time travelers, and if they look different, that's because they're like really far from the future and you know evolution and that kind of stuff.
You think they're just evolved humans that came back to play with us?
Yeah, I wouldn't
Okay.
be surprised if
I mean-
created a time travel like machine. I would come back.
Exclusively do that.
The entirety of the human history is just one giant bootstrap paradox.
Oh, that would be.
boy.
Oh man, can you imagine? That would be truly the worst. Cause like we have the answer, but it's just extremely unsatisfying. As to why we're
for
here.
everyone who doesn't know, a bootstrap paradox is just something that we can't explain of like at the beginning. Because one that I've seen was like Beethoven's music. It'd be like if you were able to go back in time with Beethoven's music to get an autograph for whatever reason you wanted to, and you went back and no one heard of Beethoven. And then you have all the stuff, so you publish all of the music.
Right.
So you are Beethoven. But how did you get Beethoven's pieces
Yeah,
to
there's
begin
no
with?
origin.
There is no origin of Beethoven.
That's scary.
That reminds me of the totally off topic, but still in the same realm of idea is the Song of Storms in Ocarina of Time. Because Link teaches it to the guy, but the guy teaches it to Link in the future. That always messes me up.
It's also in Back to the Future with Johnny B. Good.
That's true.
Yeah.
I can't believe
It's
that
stuff like
guy
that.
ripped off Marty McFly.
I imagine there would be like time traveling rules though, but then also like every time they do something that would mess with the timeline, that's us shifting into a different dimension, which is why things are always weird, or like
The Mandela effect.
effects, yeah, stuff like that. Like it's just
Here's one. What about, because we've always heard, like, if you change the past, you change the future.
Right.
What if you change the future and it changes the past?
How does that make sense?
That makes literally no sense.
Explain.
I suppose I get what you're saying, but like,
Because there was a game that I played that dealt with time travel. It was Final Fantasy
would you have to
13
come
2.
from the past to the future?
Well, you would go to the future, you would change whatever events happened. When you went back into the past was changed. Because the way I think that the developers decided to think of time in that one is that every cause had a specific effect. So if you change the effect, you change the cause.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure the Phineas and Ferb movie delved into things like that. I'm like almost positive that they like did something to Doof's universe when they like went to the future and it was like his thing and then something happened. They were like, we fixed it, and then they went back in time and then everything was different.
Yeah, it'd be
strange.
like it's like event A makes event B happen. So if you change
the butterfly
event B
effect.
to event D, event or C has to precede D. So it wouldn't be A to D, it would be C to D.
Oh.
So it's like you're just moving down. I know, like I remember playing that game and being like, this is so stupid, and then like it clicked for me. I'm like, okay, I can see this. I just know, but I actually see the thought process.
Thinking
for it.
about time for any period of like, it just
Any
doesn't
period of
exist.
time.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist.
I don't understand a goddamn thing. I don't know what's going on right now. I wanted to talk about aliens and how aliens probably would have a hard time visiting our planet because their planet would be so different. And not just because, like, atmosphere-wise, like, they'd probably have a hard time, like, breathing and stuff.
Yeah.
But because, like, if they're from a planet with higher gravity, they're gonna get here and they're just gonna be, like, super buff because their muscles are, like, denser and they would kill us. But also,
it's
like,
things like that, yeah.
but if they're from a planet with, like, lower gravity, they get here and they, like, squish in.
Yeah, they'd be like on the gravitron. They'd be like,
Yeah, they'd be on the gravitron, yeah.
be like training in Earth gravity times 2. Be like some Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think also that, and also just like, I mean, we've seen movies with aliens where it's like they have to wear suits in order to even be in the atmosphere because
I don't think we
makes
have
sense.
any intelligent aliens within our solar system. If we have anything, they're more like grub worms than anything else. Like Starfire's little weird bug thing that she has. That's what I imagine aliens to look like in our
There's also the possibility that aliens that are looking at Earth for, you know, millions and millions of light years away are seeing the dinosaurs. So they're like, there's nothing
even maybe
there
they're
yet.
seeing further into the future when Earth is already destroyed. Who knows?
I hope aliens at least look cool. I always thought that the idea of the grays was kind of boring. You know?
think
the green and
there's
gray typical
different
alien.
aliens
Yeah.
depending on different, obviously different planets, different atmospheres. Did you see the new planet that they found like light years outside of our solar system? It's really pretty.
The
Like,
Planet of the Apes?
yeah, no, that's the one.
Wow! Sorry,
Yeah, that one.
It's like really pastel and pretty.
I mean,
I'm sure it's like super dangerous because it's so pretty, but like
yeah.
it looks like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like I
probably-
have a
It's
picture.
probably made of like
anyway.
lead and
Yeah,
phosphorus.
it was like there's probably. It looks like it's got water on it at least. I don't know where my phone is.
Never
So like crystal. Shut up, crystals.
What a shock! You don't know where your phone is.
I assume like poisonous gas.
Yeah, it's probably like sulfur or something. Because what's the closest like theoretically inhabitable planet?
Isn't it
Mars,
Alpha
right?
Centauri or
Yeah.
something?
I think Alpha Centauri is the star.
Alpha Centauri is a star? You might be right.
I think it's the
No, it's-
star.
Is it this one, Kepler 1649?
Maybe.
I'm gonna guess it's Kepler. There we go. That's my answer. Lock it in. That's where the Flatwoods Monster's from.
All the astrology nerds are like,
Yep.
actually.
Actually, it's Alderaan or whatever.
And that's when they click off.
Yeah. Do you guys?
it's
What
okay.
if aliens looked like the Flatwoods Monster? Would you guys be freaked out?
I don't know what that is.
You guys know what the Flatwoods
don't
Monster?
get it. I need-
Oh, okay. So
Help
it's a
us.
totally made-up story, but also it's really interesting. Okay, so the Flatwoods Monster, back in 1952, I believe, there were these kids playing, and they saw like a meteor in the distance, like, right? And they got their mom and like their mom's friend, and they all went out to go find this thing, right? Never mind. It doesn't matter. But they go out to find this thing, and everybody has a bunch of conflicting reports, but they say they saw this thing with like a trunk torso and like a big spade-shaped head, and it had 2 little eyes in the center and little grabby claws out front. And it like hissed at them, and some said that it sprayed gas, and then they all ran away scared.
I'm trying to imagine what that looks like, and I can't.
I'll
I need
look
pictures.
I'll look up a picture for you. It was definitely just like a barn owl on a tree stump, but like, the depictions of it are like so cool and creepy. Like I love
that's
it.
terrifying. I love it.
Yeah, look up Flatwoods Monster.
That exists.
If anyone ever
I don't
gets
know
a
what
chance.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Same way
it was-
Mothman exists. That exists.
It just doesn't seem very practical.
No, I get it.
You know,
It
like
seems more robotic.
imagine an entire alien species. Well, that's the thing. Some people said like, oh, it was like metallic green or like it was metallic black, but it's pretty much confirmed at this point that it was like a barn owl on a stump. Because when barn owls get upset, they do this thing where they like duck their head down and like raise up their back feathers, and it looks exactly like that spade shape.
And it got
So
that
it was-
coloring. That
Yeah,
looks
they got like
a
the
spade.
red.
The
So it was just
beady
like
little eyes would make. Yeah, I guess it makes
And
sense.
if
I'm
it's
not
Mothman,
happy
and
about
if
it.
it's at night,
Mothman
you
actually
can't
exists
see
though.
it.
There's
Yeah,
a difference.
You've never met Mothman, and you
You-
can't tell me that you have.
Have you ever seen me and Mothman in the same room?
No.
Have you
All
ever
right,
seen
then.
I've never seen Mothman though, but I know that when I've seen you, and so have other people. And we've proven that you exist.
You can't prove that I exist. Mothman
fair
is
enough.
real. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Mothman could be real. I want Mothman to be real.
He is
I-
real.
I want Bigfoot to be real. I want the Loch Ness monster to
Bigfoot
be real.
probably is real too.
Maybe.
Nessie's
See,
real.
Maybe.
Nessie is absolutely real.
You know how like if you set a pig loose in the wild, they'll like grow tusks and like their hair will go all crazy. Similarly, the Bigfoot's probably just a feral human being.
This is just some guy from Arkansas.
Yeah, of like probably Neanderthal descent.
His wife forgot to latch the gate one night. She's like, George! And he's just out there in the
Have you seen
forest.
the theory that Bigfoot
roaming.
is just a furry that got caught in his costume and it's like too late for him to ever say anything?
And he lives in the woods now.
He's just like, it's too embarrassing to admit that that was me.
But Bigfoot's been seen since like 1890s or something,
So?
right?
Are you
Maybe
saying-
he was the first furry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you
Pioneered
saying there weren't
furries.
furries?
Wow.
I mean,
He's an
maybe
inspiration to
werewolves
everyone.
all along were furries.
I can't believe.
Actually,
we
it's
have-
just Markiplier.
Yeah, it's just Markiplier. Hello, everybody. I'm Bigfoot. He's out there.
My dad is Bigfoot.
Ah, big feet.
I believe that.
Your dad is just Bigfoot.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's accurate. Can confirm.
Big feet.
Yeah. I can't believe we have Markiplier to thank for movies like Zootopia and
Wow.
Fritz the Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cats
Thanks, Markiplier.
the musical.
Cats the musical.
I
and
will
the movie,
fist fight him.
the musical, the movie.
Musical the movie.
Yeah.
Movie the musical.
There's no movie called Cats. I don't know what you're talking about.
There was
yeah, no, I
going.
don't,
It was.
I
There was.
don't know
It
what
was.
you're talking about.
I'm sorry. I keep interrupting like that. There was one that was canceled in like I believe the early '90s that Steven Spielberg was producing
That's-
and gonna direct. I think, and it was animated.
For the best.
It was going to be animated, so it was
I
just
feel
gonna be
like
actual
animated
cats.
wouldn't be awful.
No.
As opposed to every other version
No.
of Cats. Although Cats is awful. I don't care what anybody says.
I imagine something along the lines of like cats don't dance or something. Is it cats don't dance or cats can't dance? I always
It's
forget
cats
the time.
don't dance, right?
Cats don't dance,
That
right?
flows better in
think
the
so.
mouth.
Yeah, cats
I
don't
don't
dance.
know. I like cat movies. I love the
DDR.
Cats.
The Aristocrats.
Cats versus dogs.
The Aristocrats.
Or whatever that movie was called.
Cats
Oh my
versus
God, I
I can't
dogs.
remember if it was cat. Which one it was.
That movie.
Wasn't that like a spy movie?
Yeah.
It was like a whole
Yeah, I
network
remember
of
that
spies
movie.
and stuff. And it was
I
great.
constantly think about what kind of secret life my animals could have because of movies like that. Growing up, like watching those, I'm constantly like, okay, what are you thinking while you do that?
I mean,
Why?
Acheron was in the Cat Mafia. That's
Oh
for sure.
yeah, my old cat was the like the ringleader
Oh, the
of the
Don?
cat mafia.
The Dawn.
Yes.
I believe that. Cats have like a little underground world going on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why-
They're hyper intelligent. They're aliens. Cats are aliens for sure.
I don't know why this is brought up. I ended up hearing like a movie on a video and Chicken Run, and I thought of that, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Chicken Run's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
movie. I
I
like
love
the
Chicken Run.
animation for
Yeah,
like
me
all
as well.
those.
Claymation.
Aardman Animation is what is fantastic.
Oh,
I
we
love
should.
them.
Oh man, I don't. There's the part of me that wants to do claymation, and there's the part of me that's like,
Oh,
no.
it'd be so much fun.
It would.
We
Okay, it would
should
be
do something
mind-numbing, but it would
really,
be a lot of fun.
really short. Even though it still takes
I would
hours
love to
and
do
days.
claymation.
I mean,
Anything.
not counting the 3D printing, the stop motion video that I did with real people was like 150 something hours, not including the 3D printing.
Yeah.
The 3D printing after everything was said and done added an extra 250 hours.
They had to 3D print another Dustin.
There's this TikToker that I watch. It's like Little Chef or something like that. He's like a Play-Doh dude, and they're like 60-second freaking videos, and they take forever. And wow, that's all. I have appreciation for that art.
Claymation on TikTok?
Yeah.
That's wonderful, actually.
Because
See,
there's
they
a
finally
couple
used
different
TikTok
things.
for good.
Because the thing is depending on how
God
many
bless.
frames you're running it at, which you're probably running it at fairly low frame rate, so you're probably at like 12 to 14 for a minute, is still like 7,200 frames.
It
Which is-
looks, and like he like sits there and like he makes the food, like obviously, you know, it's Claymation, so it's cut up the way it is, but like
It's real
it's so
food.
cool.
You guys
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the little green dude. He's got the little chef hat. Yeah.
Have you guys ever watched Lee Hardcastle?
I don't know.
No.
The name
Never
kind
heard
of
of
sounds
it.
familiar, but I don't.
He's a very talented claymation guy on YouTube, but he makes very dark things. His most famous video, I think at the moment, is the Simpsons couch gags, which are claymation Simpsons couch gags, and they're
I don't know what you're talking about.
it's
I
just
think I also do.
it's like claymation Simpsons, and it's like super somber, and you like watch as like people break into the house and like kill them one by one, and after like 3 minutes of just like excruciating like torture, it just cuts to the TV like da 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 da. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You watch like one of them get like scalped and stuff. It's
Wow.
awful, but you end up laughing at the end of
Well,
it.
yeah. I mean, we all grew up watching like Happy Tree Friends, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't
And
handle
then,
that
I mean,
show.
No,
don't like
I
it.
only watched like a few episodes, but like
It's fun in bursts, like watching
Yeah.
like like 2 or 3 episodes and
Yeah.
then waiting a while and then watching another few or whatever.
yeah, it's definitely not something I can just sit down and
in binge.
watch. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Yeah,
I like watching the
and then
episode
there-
here. The moose guy was always my favorite.
Yeah.
It gets fucked up.
Really stupid. Him and
Kill
like
him.
the
Oh.
son of the army dude. I don't know.
I think it's a squirrel or something like
Yeah,
Sergeant
they're,
Squirrel or
yeah,
something like
some-
that.
Yeah.
I just know that
He's got like major PTSD. Poor guy.
don't hug me, I'm scared.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
those were my
See,
favorite.
Yeah.
I was
The dad
never
was
able to
always
like
creepy.
experience those things because
yeah.
of my mom. So
Understandable.
Oh, yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
access to the internet since I was like 8, so
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I wasn't allowed to have a
Same.
Facebook until I was like in middle school, and even then I had to do it behind my mom's back because my dad let me. So
I think my mom made me a MySpace when I was like 7.
I never had
And then I
one.
got like a
That's
Facebook
cool.
when I was 9. Yeah, it was really just because I wanted like to do the cool backgrounds like my sisters did and like put music in there, but it was really just like lip gloss by Little Mama.
What else are you gonna put in the background of a MySpace page?
Yeah. That's the only option.
Clearly.
Any other kind of song like that from that era?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toxic by Britney Spears.
Yes.
Britney.
Anything by Green Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little bit edgier, but yeah.
Weezer.
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 I don't
Jimmy
think I
Eat
listened
World.
to Weezer until I was like 12 and older.
I'm
I
gonna-
didn't appreciate it.
I'm gonna do a picture of
Carl Weezer.
Yeah, never mind. That's better. Whatever I was gonna say. Carl Weezer. I was just gonna say I'm gonna take 4 of the Dankrite people and line them up and just put Weezer up at the
You
top,
should.
and that'll just be it.
You should
Can we
do
do
that.
band tees? That would be great.
Do what?
Like band tee style.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
t-shirts
Weezer,
would
but
be
it's
great.
like 4 Morans that have been
And
recolored.
it should
Yeah.
be like
Palette
Meezer.
swap.
Weezer, ballot swap Moran. We're all just standing there in
Yes.
his default 3/4 pose, like hand out. Yeah.
Each of them got a guitar and a
I want
bass and a
that.
drum
Have you seen
set and
the
a
One
mic.
Direction one? That's
What?
like, oh my god.
One Direction.
The like One Direction merch that's like
That's like it
On
says Weezer
fire.
at the top.
it looks
Meezer?
like a rock band tee, but it's just One Direction.
Somebody did
That's
that.
really
There was a
funny.
picture of the Beatles and they put Weezer up at the top, and it made me laugh for a long time.
That's amazing.
It was simple. Was that really like your first? What was your first experience with like creepy stuff then, Tangi? What's like the first like scary thing that you got into?
I didn't really get into it, but like the first thing that I ever like got the chance to experience was from some of my middle school friends who were like
I'm sorry, she just showed me the picture.
What does it say?
Oh, no.
What makes you be? Oh my god, it's like death metal.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
We should just insert a clip of that, like, now.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Tangi's story.
Yeah, but the first time I ever got really experienced was some middle school friends and everything like that were super into creepypasta. Like, I am not even kidding. These girls, like, slept, ate. But that was, like, the first real experience I had gotten with that, or, like, when I was with my dad, because my parents were divorced at that time, obviously. Not obviously. You guys don't know me. Well, my parents were divorced, but so I was able to watch some more creepy stuff. Like, it really just depended on what my dad was watching at the time and if he'd let me watch it, because I was so young. But other than that, I didn't really have any experiences until, like, maybe high school.
That's really interesting because, like, all the gore stuff you do now, and, like, you're really good at it, so you'd think you'd be, like, have watched it your whole life.
That probably stems from my fascination of the human body in general, because, like, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go into med school in the first place, is because I have a fascination with anatomy.
Interesting.
Like, I really do. And so I've grown to really appreciate gore in movies. So, like, even if it's just, like, simple gore of, like, somebody dying in an action movie, like... And then I started, you know, getting experience to horror movies because of actually you guys.
Saw and
Final Destination.
No.
I think you would enjoy the Saw movies.
The
I don't
only-
really like them because of how gory they are, like
That's
the way
fair.
they execute them, but like at the same time they're also pretty good, especially the first one.
I mean, Final Destination's got some gnarly
Oh,
deaths.
yeah.
Oh, I think I actually saw
Destination,
a bit. I can't remember. No, it was like Dumb Ways People Have Died or something. That was the. That was
1,000 Ways to Die,
maybe
or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like the
that
first
show.
thing that I had actually really experienced. It
Yeah.
wasn't even my dad watching it. It was my brother, and it was like. I stood there for like maybe 5 minutes because I was getting water or something like that, and I literally, sorry, this is gonna probably freak a couple people out. Stop listening for like maybe 5 minutes. It was legitimately somebody getting cut in half by an elevator. Like,
jeez.
the elevator door had shut and like
I've
clamped
seen
around their
that
body
one,
and
yeah.
then went down, and it cut them in half. That was like maybe the first thing that I had experienced visually.
I
Like
think
saying that was an actual video?
It was like
they
it was a
do, like,
show.
actors
1,000
and
Ways to
stuff
Die,
like
and
that,
it was
yeah.
like, I think all of the ways that someone died were actual deaths.
Yeah, no,
like,
those were real
weren't-
deaths. They
It
were
wasn't
all-
like they were like, how can we come up with like what's 1,000 ways to die? But you know, some of them
That
are fake.
show-
No, all of them were an instance of it happening. Because I remember seeing one where some guy was trying to get some car insurance money or whatnot to like kind of fraud, where he would specifically injure himself, like stepping out in front of cars on purpose to get hit.
right.
And he did that once, and one of the ladies forgot to put on one of the brakes, and he actually had his leg broken. And the car was kind of parked on a slope, and it fell back, and it like crushed his lungs, and it's the car weight.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I remember seeing that, I was like, that's bloody.
Yeah,
That
it's
show
just like him, just
alone
like-
But-
made me fear like almost everything. Like everything scares me now. I'm like, I can die in literally every situation because they've died in every situation.
What
Yeah.
was up with Ron Perlman in that show, like, making jokes about that, too?
I don't understand
Wait.
like murder things that make jokes about the way people die. Like they're like a really cool pun, and it's like, you didn't have to do that.
Oh yeah, like the ending, like the title of what the death is like a pun.
Oh yeah, they were. Oh my god, the one I
Ahead
remember
of the
most.
competition or whatever. It's like, real classy, guys.
I remember
Guy's dead.
this one. It's like this guy fighting a bouncer, and he like pushes him and like knocks this pole down, and the pole goes like straight through his head. And I
Whoa.
constantly think about that every time I'm walking underneath an awning. I'm like, I'm gonna die right now, and I'm okay with that.
I think about
That's my thought process with Final Destination. I can no longer comfortably drive behind trucks with logs.
There was somebody driving with a bunch of pellets, and they only had one of the like latches going around this way and not this way, and I was like, I'm not driving behind you.
You guys-
I've seen enough movies.
there's a video out there of a truck driving in front of people, and I believe that the person in the back seat is recording. And a brick flies off the truck and into the passenger.
I've seen
it
that
killed
one.
the person in the passenger seat like
I've
instantly.
seen
There's a
that.
video of it.
That's
It's
awful.
awful. Don't look up these videos.
Don't look up these videos.
Don't
Yeah.
watch people's video
Yeah,
die.
there's like the whole
Video died.
There's like ladders
people
going
die.
through people's cars and decapitating people.
Yeah,
I mean, there's ones where people have gotten impaled but lived.
Yeah, I
And,
can't.
like, no.
I'll be honest, like, that stuff doesn't freak me out. Simply because, like...
it's not that it freaks me out. It's just that it's weird to think that you can die in literally any situation.
We could die right now.
We could die right now.
You will. No, I'm just.
Car comes
oh
wailing
my
in.
God.
something
I mean,
exploded
they gotta go through
over 'em.
Sonora if they're coming that way. They'd have to come this way, and that's kind of hard.
If
It
they
could
like
happen.
swerve
I mean,
off this way
it's-
and then they
we're
come
mo-
through
we're
up
more
and they're
likely-
like, listen, we're talking about things that don't usually happen.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I mean, the cave. Guys, we're recording in a cave. The ceiling could collapse,
yeah,
Exactly.
cave in.
but
The computer could explode.
I'm like they don't. Those deaths didn't necessarily bother me. It's just kind of like. There's just something unnerving about it
Yeah.
because
That's
they're not
fair.
particularly
It really is.
nice ways to go out. Like, I don't know if I want to get a log through the chest when I'm driving.
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen that one of the guy
Oh, this
who's
smarts. Not fun.
Oh, I saw one where it was like somebody got like sucked up by a pool drain or some shit like
yes,
that.
Yeah.
I've seen that one. I
oh,
hate
that
it.
sucks.
Yeah.
I've seen this
I,
one where this
like, saw
guy
that
was
one.
like it was his bachelor party and he was like being really creepy towards the stripper and he like ended up falling in the bathroom and like he landed perfectly on a piece of glass from the toilet and it like went right up his butt and like killed him. It was
oh my god.
Why was that show weirdly sexual?
I don't know.
So very sexual.
So many people
there was
die are
one-
just.
So many of
Or,
those
like, people
start
getting
with people
things
having
stuck up
sex
their
and then
ass.
dying mid-sex.
Yeah.
Like, it's like weirdly sexual.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
only
Yeah.
one that I like actually remember from that show was like they were going to have sex and she was like, get the whipped cream, and then and so he like shoved it up her butt
Oh,
and
no.
like did whipped cream up her butt
Oh.
and it like exploded.
Rookie
Oh, the
mistake.
can exploded.
The can like
rookie
exploded
mix.
and
It was
oh,
it was a bomb.
it was a bomb.
Ew.
But like,
Have you seen
That's-
the
that's
chastity
the
belt
wrong
one?
thing.
Of the girl
No.
who like took her chastity belt off in a pool of water every time she wanted to have sex while her husband was gone, and it got to the point where it was like rusted and like getting into everything, and like she just eventually died of an infection.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
really
God.
gross. I think
horrible.
Men in Tights references it with what's her face,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
but ugh.
But like so back when I was younger, that stuff did freak me out a
Yeah.
little bit. Like it was really unnerving to watch. I couldn't watch it. But recently, I had watched The Hills Have Eyes,
I love that
whatever
movie.
it's called. And
Yeah.
and there's a scene, spoiler if you haven't seen it, where the dad or somebody blows his brains out instead of being in that area or something like that. And like everybody else, had to turn away. They were like, "Oh," ugh. And I was just like, nice. Like, that's who I am. I find it fascinating. I
Yeah.
love seeing how people do gore in movies and things like that. It doesn't bug me.
Yeah, no,
So-
I do specifically like to pay attention to like decapitation because it's interesting to see what kind of like dummies or techniques they use to
Yeah.
have. And sometimes it is still like the real person that's like dropping to the ground or whatever, but like the way they execute heads is very
So cool
interesting to
cutting
me.
people's heads
Yeah,
off.
definitely.
Sometimes they might use
Sick, bro.
like a full 3D model too.
Yeah.
It'll be like a comp of like a real body, and then there's a point to where it turns into a 3D model.
A real
which is
filmmaker uses real people.
Oh
God, you said that, and I thought about
now it
the
makes me wonder what was the
Otis thing.
Oh no, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Milo and Otis, that's so depressing.
They used real like cats and dogs and like they literally threw
They
those
went
cats
through, like,
off the
40
waterfall.
cats and dogs.
They did?
Yes.
Yeah, and
they-
like put them next to bears and stuff.
like
Oh
I think
my
they
God.
lost like 4 cats alone just
They
to the
lost a
waterfall
lot.
scene.
They killed a lot of cats and dogs
It's
during Milo and
awful.
Otis.
It's awful. I can't think about things like that.
My
Yeah.
whole childhood is ruined.
I don't know
I'm
why,
upset.
but now I have like a question. What was the first moment that you can remember being scared or something like actually terrifying you? Because the first time that happened to me was I was 3 and I was at my cousin's house, and I was supposed to be asleep, but I had wandered out because I had woken up. And my parents and my cousins were watching The Matrix. But the particular scene was when his mouth is melted close. Seeing it and being a 3-year-old and watching someone's mouth melt together to where they have no more mouth scared the hell out of me, and I started crying. And I was just, that's
can
my
understand
earliest memory
that.
of being like mortally terrified.
Poor little Dustin.
I was just like,
I remember mine too.
I remember mine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so stupid. I'm not even gonna
it's
lie.
going to
Yeah,
trickle then,
think of
Tangi.
mine.
Okay.
We'll
So
just go in order.
mine was really stupid. I was like literally just a wimp as a kid. I'm gonna put that out there right now.
That's so okay. You're a kid.
You wrote that
But-
diary, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
No, but the first one that I like remember being scared. Sorry, that joke.
So sorry.
It's fine, I understand. Nolan can be funny sometimes.
Okay.
But my first like fear was the Zoe 101 Halloween special. That one
love that.
scared the absolute hell out of me when I first saw it. I'm not even kidding. Like I had nightmares from that one.
Wow.
Like I was literally, considering I wasn't, exposed to things like this as a kid, I guess I didn't grow desensitized to it, so that literally scared the hell out of me as a kid. So that was mine. It's, stupid, Zoe 101.
Funny. I love that.
I love it.
Huh, I don't remember the Zoe 101.
It was like, they had a time capsule or something like that, and then they had to, it was like a movie. And like they had to open it and like a green mist or something like that comes out and just starts scaring everybody. It's not even that scary, really.
Okay.
It's, yeah, you'll have to look it up, but
Nickelodeon
Hate it when
scary.
that happens.
yeah, it's
Wonderful.
Nickelodeon scary,
Yeah.
but it scared me as a
But
kid.
as a kid, I can totally understand that.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
I
as
was-
a kid, the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody Halloween
Oh
special
my god,
scared me.
yes.
Or that wouldn't be my first experience, but like that one was definitely spooky.
Or the iCarly one.
What was the iCarly one?
I think it was the iCarly one. Or no, was it Sweet Life? I just remember like a table and like a
The
guy.
Seance.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that was
Sweet
Zach and
Life?
Cody.
Okay.
That was Esteban doing the
Yes.
seance. And
Yeah.
then, like the painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good.
What was yours, Amber?
I kind of had two. I mean, Creepypasta just, like, freaked me out in general, because I thought that it was real for
Yeah.
a certain point in time. But that was more middle school. I was afraid of Squidward's suicide video for a while. Understandably.
Yeah.
What is this video you're talking
Oh
about?
my
I'll show you later.
Yeah.
Okay, it's rough.
I'm gonna
Okay.
kill myself.
No, please.
Sorry.
He starts melting.
He starts melting. He just decides like he's gonna die now and just like melts like
Goodbye.
goodbye.
No.
Goodbye,
Goodbye, SpongeBob.
I'm sorry, I won't interrupt
That's
anymore.
The one that I was like actually terrified though was when I was a child. I was about 5 or so, and my mom was watching Tales from the Crypt. And I've always been like afraid of the little dude, but specifically that episode, he like had some growth on his shoulder or something.
yeah.
I don't know.
Crypt Keeper?
And I have no idea what, like, exactly was going on, but he was like, brother, I can't take it anymore, and there was, like, a meat grinder, and so he shoved it in the meat grinder, and it
You're like,
terrified me for the rest of my life. I have not watched Tales from the Crypt since that
That's
moment.
scary, actually, yeah. Tales from the Crypt was not meant for kids, I don't think.
No.
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 Like, I'm pretty sure that was not made for children.
No, that was definitely like a
Yeah.
older teen adult kind of thing.
At least.
I mean,
Scary.
okay, so for me, growing up, I was like, grew up with like shadow people and skinwalkers, so things always scared me. The dark
as
has
you
always
do.
scared me.
Skinwalkers
As one
freak me
does.
out.
But like, yeah, that was my, again, more holes that my grandma drilled into my head.
Shadow people, skinwalkers.
Yes, that kind of stuff.
Good.
But
good.
like, I think the first like thing I actually remember being like afraid of, like had nightmares, could not sleep, like terrified, was I was 8 years old, and it was when my dad had first moved to Arizona City, and I was visiting him for the very first time. It was the very first summer I like got to leave the state and all that, and I don't remember why, but we decided we were gonna watch both of the It's, like the first part and then the second part, and like it was specifically the bathroom scene when he's coming out of the drain in the showers. That part scared the shit out of me, and like I refused to take a shower for the longest time. Like I had to have been forced. Like it was Drains still scare me, but that was definitely the first one where I was.
That's valid. That's very valid.
I
was
love
afraid
the
of
movie
clowns for a
now.
while,
The
too.
movie is like one of my favorite movies now, but like as a kid, that and then the scene where like the Ben is like, I think it's Ben. He's near the wash. No, he's like near the. I don't know what that thing is called. The
Storm drain?
sewers, yeah, whatever it is, and then like the body comes out of the lake or whatever, that part.
What a fun time.
What about you, Nolan? You're not afraid of anything.
I was gonna say the Zach and Cody thing. That's
Yeah.
pretty funny. I think I thought of one that's actually like predates that. Did you guys watch VeggieTales growing up?
Yeah.
No.
You guys know the VeggieTales? You guys remember the VeggieTales episode where it's like Timmy Jr. and he's like afraid of going to bed because there's like monsters and stuff?
No,
I don't think
it's been a
so.
long
The guy is
haven't
bigger
seen
than
any of
the
these.
boogeyman. He's bigger than the
The song sounds familiar, but I like to listen to VeggieTales songs even today, so.
Okay, anyways, that whole thing was about don't be afraid of the dark, and that scared the shit out
You
of me
were the
anyways.
exact opposite.
It did the exact
You
opposite.
were like, I'm afraid of the
They
dark.
built
now.
like a good atmosphere in that
Yeah.
episode,
We'll have
minus
to watch it.
minus the tiny UFO that Bob and Larry come out of. Oh wait, they don't come out of a tiny UFO. That's a different one. Okay, never mind.
Okay,
Anyways.
but still.
But,
But
yeah.
still.
Because although I do remember the first time I was like actually given nightmares from something, and it was Jaws.
Jaws.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was one of those things I had like come out and it was just as he was getting bitten, so like, I was like, and I was like 6 or 7 at this point, maybe 8, and so that was like I actually had nightmares and I actually couldn't sleep,
I feel like I've always been exposed
which was
to
weird
scary
because
things.
I'm like, we live in Arizona, we don't live near an ocean. There's no sharks are. The closest sharks are like
I grew
several
up by the
hundreds
ocean.
of miles away.
I do not go
No.
past where I cannot see my feet.
I do remember another time, like, first of all, dolls have always creeped me out. But
Valid.
this is
Very
because my
valid.
mother has maybe 5 or 6 porcelain dolls, as well as like a bunch of other dolls that she's gotten from either her childhood or her mother who made them. But regardless of that, another time that I was actually exposed to anything like spooky or anything like that was actually Supernatural. I started
that's
watching
so funny to me.
Yeah, I started watching Supernatural in like, oh god, 7th grade, 8th grade maybe, and like, I'm not even kidding. That was like maybe the first time I was exposed to anything like that. And like, maybe the 2nd episode or something like that, the boy in the lake scared the hell out of me. I'm not even gonna lie, but like,
It's a creepy one.
it was the fact of seeing like this child's face pop out of a lake. I think that's what scared me the most. But other than that, I don't really have any like.
Man,
Those kids scare me.
I think kids in lakes or anybody like bodies in lakes that shouldn't be there. Like if you've ever seen like the original, I think it might be the original Friday the 13th or whatever.
I've never seen any of them.
I just know there's one of them. I don't know which one it is, but like at the very end, it's like all serene. They're sitting on a boat, and then the child body like pops out and like grabs the dude, and it's
I mean, there's also like the whole
Don't like
Shining
it.
with the twins.
yeah.
Like, children just in
I actually-
general can just get creepy.
I
Kids are
actually
creepy.
didn't watch The Shining until I think Halloween of 2018.
Never.
that's what it
I
was.
still have never seen
But
The
like
Shining.
I watched
haven't
it
seen
on a
it either.
projector. It was pretty cool.
But-
I love that movie. I want to rewatch it.
Oh, what was another one? It's not necessarily straight from a horror thing, but the Doctor Who episode with the gas masks.
Oh my
the gas
god!
mask.
With Captain
Yeah.
Jack, with the Ninth Doctor, with Eccleston, with the "Are you
Yeah.
my mummy?"
Yes,
That's
And
great.
that
one creeped
that
me
one,
out.
and like them getting the mask and it like coming out of their mouth and like being
Yes.
part of their
on
face.
Yeah, it's
Something
so
that I
good.
watched as a child that scared me, that still scares me to this day. I won't even lie. It's one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen. Is The Twilight Zone. It's an episode where this guy is like on a plane and he's like got PTSD from being on a plane, and like everyone thinks that he's going crazy when he says there's something on the wing, and then like there is something. It's just creepy. You have to look it up. But like,
Oh yeah, the radio play I made you guys listen to.
Oh, that one was
It's
really
it's
good.
called yeah. For
every
those,
time I hear that whining, I'm just like, oh.
yeah, no, it's from a series called Quiet Please, the thing on the Fourble board. And I listened to that in 6th grade because we had one of the former teachers was really good artist, and he would come back to the honors classes every year to do some like art stuff for every here and there.
Yeah.
And he had some of these old tapes or whatnot, and he would play them every once in a while. And that was one of them, and it got me. I mean,
It's
it
a
didn't
good
like
one.
super terrify me, but
Yeah,
I was
but it's super unsettling.
I was unnerved by it, and it was like, oh, okay. Another thing I'm unnerved by that I can never look at them ever again without thinking about it are angel statues, because weeping angels from Doctor Who. I
Oh
can't.
my God.
My brain forever now is just like I'm looking at them and I'm just like,
That's so valid.
For me, it's mannequins from Doctor Who.
oh, I never
I
remember
can't
that.
look
The
at
Autons.
Mannequins
Yeah,
in general
the
are just
Autons.
scary.
They're great.
Oh, Fiona must really scare you.
No, I can't tell you how
Well,
many
no, like-
times I've like been at the quick
Fiona's
stop and
alright.
looked in and just like stared at Fiona and I'm like, move, do it. I know you do it. Just do
No,
it.
For the first like couple of weeks there, I would round the corner and every time think that someone's like standing around
She
the
still
corner.
scares me sometimes, especially if I'm here at night and I round the corner. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just Fiona.
Fiona's our mannequin. You've
Oh, yes.
seen her on our TikTok.
And
Like and
Instagram.
subscribe.
like and subscribe.
For more Fiona
Smash
content.
that
Follow us on Indiegogo for more content.
I think our Indiegogo ended today.
Did it actually?
Yeah.
Oh,
R.I.P. Indiegogo.
Rip
I
Indiegogo.
think we made like 130. 130.
Hey, thank
Nice.
you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
These guys are like, what the hell is
I'm like, we
Indiegogo?
don't
Yeah,
know.
no,
what
so-
you're
no
talking
wonder why
about.
you don't like it when I just pop out of nowhere in the dark.
Yeah,
because your grandmother
It's Fiona.
made you scared of everything
Because
in the
it's
dark.
terrifying. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the dark. I love the dark. It's the things in the dark. What is lurking?
Nothing. It's the dark.
Everything.
There's nothing in the dark. That's the point of the dark.
If you can't see
You're
it, it's
wrong.
not there.
That's not.
Yeah, that, like, I saw a quote. It's like I saw a quote, and it's like humans aren't afraid of what isn't in the dark. They're afraid of what is in the dark.
Yeah.
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 That's why people are afraid of the dark. Exactly.
If it's not in your rendering distance, it's not there.
You just gotta turn up your
I mean,
rendering
I like
distance and
that
turn up the
theory
brightness.
just as it is. Like, things
2 frames.
they don't exist if you don't perceive them. Like, everything outside this building doesn't
Object
exist right now
permanence?
because we can't. Yeah, but like, also, like, for things like the couch cushion, for instance, there's nothing inside the couch cushion until you cut it open.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
looking at you right now. Is
Right.
that wall behind me real right now?
No,
Yes, it
because
is.
it's not
Can
like
you-
rendered.
you
If
can
it's in
see
your
it, right?
peripherals, then yeah. But if it's not like rendered in your brain, then no.
You
Oh.
can see it though,
I can
right?
see it.
Okay,
But
how do I
it
know that
can't be
you're
real
how do I
to
know that
you.
you're real and you're not just saying
Because
I
none of
think
us are real.
everything
This is
could be a
Oh,
simulation.
this is some like this is some philosophical BS of just like the nothing exists unless you
Correct.
perceive it.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm not a fan
I
of those
remember having this-
hypotheticals. They're just kind of pointless. It's like what does
I
it matter
understand-
if we're in a
And
simulation?
that's why you live in this very sad world. Version of the world. Okay.
I'm happy in my world. You know why? Because you
Because
guys
you
are
have
all
Donkey
freaking
Kong,
out about
Sonic.
being in a computer, and I'm like, look, this is all I know. I'm gonna die either way. If I die inside a simulation, what does it matter?
It's not that I'm like freaking out that we're in a simulation. It's just that we need to accept the fact that we're in a simulation. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing else to it.
What is it? Okay, what would be the difference between real life and a simulation?
I think the way the
What would it
world is
matter?
coded,
What would it matter?
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Okay.
But it's just the fact that it's real.
Okay.
It's a real thing. Like everything in this world like comes down to math, and that's why I think
Math, science,
yes.
alchemy.
drugs,
But well, I mean,
math.
is it
Math
really
is the center of the
is it
world.
really a simulation if this is our real life though?
Yeah. It's as real
I
as
mean,
it gets for
but
us.
then
So
that's
it's like,
that's
what
the
does it
thing
matter?
is like I often question like, are we the playable characters or are we the rogue characters? Like, is there somebody controlling us and that's why we have these thoughts, or are we like random characters who are just
We are
going
just the
through the world?
NPCs.
Yeah, like, are we the NPCs? Do we have these thoughts because there's nobody controlling us?
Well, they dissected brains. They know how they work mostly now, so...
Yeah, that's still it's still like like the human
It's a
brain is
mystery,
still
but-
like people like scientists still don't know how memories actually function.
They think that it... Well, okay, well, they have, like, an idea.
Like they have ideas,
Well, yeah,
but
they
still
have
don't
ideas
have. They
about
don't
everything.
have.
It's like
pinpoint.
Actual, like,
It's
there's-
neural
there's still-
collections. When you repeat an action, your brain creates a new neural pathway, which
Yeah.
is literally just a
Right.
little protein strand
Yeah,
that
and
sends
it
a
just
signal.
gets thicker and thicker every
It's
time
just
you
a
think about
bunch
that
of, It's just
particular
a bunch
memory.
of little strings going back and forth, sending signals.
None of it makes sense.
No.
It's not real.
Every
Oh.
person is its own galaxy.
Okay, I have
also
one
why
for you, though.
Okay.
Okay, and this gets into the idea of if free will is real or not, right?
Okay.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock? Okay, we'll wrap this up soon, but I'm going to leave you guys with this. Okay, so think about how the universe started, right? If it's how science believes, a series of chain reactions where
Right.
everything exploded at once. If you think about the universe as nothing more than particles bouncing off of each other, creating chain reactions, you do not have free will. You're just a series of predetermined chemical reactions that are happening because other chemical reactions are happening,
Right. No.
making you move and stuff.
That makes complete sense. And like the same thing happens when like with thought waves. Like that's why people say the same thing at the same time, or like you know what I mean? It's all connected. Nothing's real. That's
They're
why
in my
there's
head,
no
man.
real original thought or anything like that.
Yeah.
None of that exists. We're all a hive mind.
Yeah. Now go to bed.
Now go to bed. Good night.
Go to bed, but don't do that until you've liked, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and
Yes.
subscribe.
Please don't.
And don't
Like,
be
comment, and
afraid of the
subscribe.
dark.
Yeah.
Don't do
There's
that.
only VeggieTales characters in there. I
Go
checked.
listen to the Cheeseburger song by Mr. Lutz. That's all.
I vaguely remember that song.
That song is like my favorite song.
Sorry.
No, that's what I needed. I'm gonna listen to that on the way home.
I
and
should
I'll-
sing that.
Alright.
Completely
I should make an album
shamelessly.
of VeggieTales covers.
Yeah.
I think you should.
Yeah.
You should.
Do
And
it.
then also, for the
I'd
people
buy
down in
it.
the comments, comment what you're afraid of.
What scares you?
We can read
We'll
them.
talk about
And
it.
also
oh yeah,
maybe
and if you have any
suggestions for
topics
next week.
Yeah.
for us to talk about, we'll talk about them.
Aw.
Not Star Wars. Please don't suggest Star Wars.
The podcast
that
before
is
this
funny.
was just
I
Star
wanted
Wars.
to talk about that.
Yeah, we started to go into it and then quickly got stopped.
Well, let's talk about that real quick.
Cuts off. Good night.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. We're done. Bye, everyone.